to derivate how we can differentiate inverse functions. The trigonometric functions will be in separate videos, and here we have a problem. But first, the theory. So let's say we have f of x and h of x. F of x is equal to the inverse function of h of x. So h of x. So f of x is equal to h to the minus 1 of x, or h of x is equal to f to the minus 1 of x, whatever whatever you want. So now we want to find the derivative of inverse function of this. So we have f of x, and we want to find the derivative of its inverse function, so derivative of h of x. So we can do is remember that f of g of x. So when we apply the function to the inverse function, we always have x. So f of g of x is x, and here also h of f of x is x. So now implicit differentiation, derivative of this will be f prime of g of x times g prime of x is equal to 1. Here h prime of f of x, sorry, h, I don't know why I put g. So h prime of f of x times f prime of x is equal to 1. So we want h prime. We will be, I said that we wanted to find the derivative of the inverse function of f of x, so that's the derivative of h of x. So it's 1 divided by h prime, f prime will be h prime 1 over h prime of f of x, and here will be h prime of x is equal to 1 divided by f prime of h of x. So if we want to find the derivative of inverse function of f of x, that is the derivative of h of x, we do 1 divided by the derivative of the function with respect to the inverse function, f prime of h of x. Now, here we have a problem. We have given that f of x is the function 1/2 of cube x plus 3x minus 4. We know that the inverse function of h of x is f of x, or the inverse function of f of x is h of x, whatever you want. And notice that f of minus 2 is equal to minus 14. We want to find h prime of minus 14. So we want to find the derivative of the inverse of our function at x equals minus 4. If you think you can do it, stop the video now and next continue to see we have the same result. So here what I will do is I don't remember the formulas that we derived, so I just derived them, and I think we want to find h prime. So at the end I have h prime equals something. So how am I going to have the h prime equals something? So I will take the one when I do f of h of x is equal to x, because in this one, when I do the chain rule, f prime of h of x times h prime of x. So here I have h prime of x, and this is the one that I'm going to find, equals 1. And so now h prime of x is equal to 1 divided by f prime of h of x. So we have 1 divided by h prime of 14 will be 1 divided by what's f prime of h of x. First, what's h of x? We know that f of minus 2 is minus 14. So h of minus 14 is minus 2. So we have 1 divided by f prime of minus 2. So now what's f prime of minus 2? We need to derivate f of x. So to do the derivative of f of x, so f prime is equal to 3/2 of square x plus 3. So f prime of minus 2 will be minus 2 squared. 12 times 4 over 2 is 12 times 4 over 2 plus 3. So this is 2 times 12 is 24 plus 3, 27. So here I have 1 divided by 27. If we have not committed any mistakes, this will be the answer. The inverse the derivative of the inverse function of f of x at x equals minus 14 will be 1 over 27. I hope not to have committed any mistake.